I know this is going to make me sound like a terrible person, but I need to get it off my chest because it's been eating at me more than I expected. I work a pretty standard office job. Nothing glamorous, just project coordination for a small marketing company. It's the kind of job where everything revolves around deadlines, meetings, and tracking your time down to the minute. We bill clients based on hours worked, so we have to log everything we do in this system at the end of the day. At first, I was super strict about it. If I worked 8 hours, I logged 8 hours. If I took a long lunch or got distracted, I made sure it reflected accurately. But over time, things started to shift. It honestly began in a really small, almost harmless way. One day, I was finishing up my timesheet and realized I had worked 7 hours and 50 minutes. Instead of logging exactly that, I just rounded it up to 8. I told myself it was basically the same thing. 10 minutes wasn't a big deal. Everyone rounds up sometimes, right? After that, it got easier. A couple days later, I added another 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Nothing dramatic, just little adjustments that didn't feel like they would ever be noticed. I started justifying it in my head. I'd think about the times I stayed mentally on after work, or answered emails from my phone while watching TV, or thought about projects on my commute. I convinced myself I was just balancing things out. But if I'm being honest, that wasn't really what was happening. It slowly turned into a habit. At the end of each day, I'd look at my actual hours and then tweak them. If I worked 8 hours, maybe I'd log 8 hours and 20 minutes. If I worked 7.5, I'd push it closer to 8.5. It never felt like I was doing anything huge, but when I started adding it up in my head, I realized those little additions were turning into a few extra hours every week. And that means extra money. At first, I didn't even really notice the difference in my paychecks, but after a while, I did. It wasn't life-changing money, but it was enough to feel it, enough to justify it, at least in my own head. I'd tell myself things like, they underpay me anyway, or I work hard, I deserve this, or it's not like I'm taking whole days I didn't work. But deep down, I knew exactly what I was doing. The part that really got to me was when my boss started paying attention. A few weeks ago, she pulled me aside after a team meeting. Nothing formal, just a quick conversation in her office. She mentioned that she'd noticed my logged hours had been trending higher than usual compared to the rest of the team. She wasn't accusing me outright, but she was definitely watching. I felt my stomach drop. Instead of coming clean, I just went into explanation mode. I told her that some of my projects had been taking longer than expected, that a few client calls had run over, and that I'd been putting in extra time to make sure everything stayed on track. I even threw in something about wanting